On Tuesday morning, I cold called Dr. Mark Vetner, who is a podiatrist in the Coney Island section of Brooklyn. I was given his name from a colleague of his whom I work with in the operating room, and I figured that Dr. Vetner would be a good candidate for a PRP call because he doesn't do surgery, and he has a very large office-based practice. So I figured that he would be someone who would benefit from an additional revenue stream coming into the office, as well as being able to offer his patients a new solution or a different solution to the pain they're experiencing. So what I gathered from our conversation was that he has a very good working knowledge of platelet-rich plasma technology, and he has attained this through reading various articles in different journals, attending several conferences, and through the general word of mouth of his colleagues. So the first question out of his mouth was, what makes our machine different? And as I went over the features and benefits of our product, he continued to write in his notebook and never looked up. At the end of the speech that I gave him, he asked me what insurance companies are reimbursing for the PRP injection now. And unfortunately, I had to tell him that PRP is not reimbursable by insurance companies and that there is no code for it. At that point, he told me that that's the reason he's not doing any PRP, and that until that changes, he will not do any PRP in the office. He said that he pretty much has to hold a gun to his patient's head just to get them to fork over the cash for a copay. So the fact that I think they're going to be willing to pay $500 to $800 for a PRP injection that may alleviate their pain is ludicrous. So he seemed to be at a standstill there because it's not going to be reimbursable by insurance anytime, and his patients aren't going to, he's telling me that his patients aren't going to pay the money for the injection itself. So he thanked me for my time, told me to leave a card in the brochure, and that if anything changes on the insurance end, to give him a call and let him know, and he'd be willing to sit down and look over the machine and the literature that I have. So before I got up, I asked him what the harm would be if I were to leave some patient brochures in the lobby or in the waiting room so the patients could read the literature and if we could get their thoughts on it. And I said that it might be an easier sell if the patients are coming to you and approaching you about the technology as opposed to you suggesting it and telling them that this may be a way to alleviate their pain, because quite honestly, you might come off as kind of a car salesman. I didn't say it in those words, although I did say car salesman. I said that they might view it as you pushing something on them that is very expensive and that may take care of their problem. However, if you offer them the literature and you let them do the legwork and then look up the product themselves, they can approach you and they can ask you if they're a candidate and if this is a probable solution or a solution that they may be able to benefit from. So I think the call went very well. I'm going back in there next week with the patient brochures, and he's going to set them up in his lobby. And I'm going to continue to follow up with him to see if I can get some feedback from his patients and to see if any of them are in fact coming up to him and asking him about the PRP. Now, where I do think I could have done a lot better is steering the call. I think that after I gave the features and the benefits of our product, he took over the call and went right into the cost and the fact that it wasn't reimbursable by insurance companies. And I think I could have done a significantly better job of discussing the patient population that will benefit from this and which patients he could look for, because I think now he really doesn't have much of a working out, though he knows about PRP, he doesn't know what to look for because he's always considered it out of the realm of possibility because he figured his patients would never pay for it. So I think I did a poor job of describing the patients that will benefit from this. And I think that's definitely something I need to work on. I think I need to control the conversation better and to go over it more in my head and to be able to anticipate obstacles so I can get over them and just stay my course and get to the point that I want to make. But I am going to see him next week. I am going to bring in the patient brochures, and I will work on steering the call with him from this point forward and really selling the features and the benefits of the product and what it can offer your patients, and steering him away from the cost and the fact that insurance companies don't reimburse for it. Thank you.